biggest story this morning as well is that the wreckage of missing plane has been spotted the southwest of Aberdares 2 days after it went off the radar. That is the 5 Yankee Charlie Alpha Charlie, the Cessna caravan that went down 2 days ago, and it has been missing. And of course, so there has been frantic effort to try and comb the forest to try and get the fuselage of the aircraft. And right now we can see live pictures coming to you from Njambini, where we can see also some of the family members who are trying also to get more information, and of course also the Red Cross Society, which is on the ground trying also to help victims. We are not very sure right now because information remains scanty about the lives, the 10 lives that were on board there together with the 2 pilots. The capacity of the caravan, we're given to understand it can carry 12 passengers and 2 pilots, so 12 occupants were in that particular plane. And as I've mentioned before, also efforts to try and salvage the fuselage or the wreckage of the aircraft were futile because also of some of weather condition that we had, very grey or very tense, clouded with heavy clouds that they could not really probe and get the wreckage. But good news is that it has been found. Information about the occupants remains scanty. We'll give you this full details much later in the course of the day, as soon as the information trickles into our studios as well. These are live pictures from Njambini, and this is some of the residents maybe who are just curious to know what had really transpired. Investigation is ongoing to try and establish what really could have caused this particular aircraft to go down. Of course, speculation were on air about the weather condition that might have adversely also affected the flight of 5 Yankee Charlie Alpha Charlie. That is an aircraft flown by FlySax, a subsidiary of Fly40. So, some good news there. Of course, finding of the wreckage, but still we are also having anxiety as far as the lives are concerned from that particular wreckage. 10 lives not really accounted for so far, and the 2 pilots as well. And we will give you information as soon as we get them. This is a statement from the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Transport, Mr. Maringa, who has just released that. So let's keep our eyes closed on this, and we will, of course, try and reach out our reporters on the ground, Brenda Wanga, to also give us full information of what will be happening as well. We go back there. These are your pictures still in Njambini. Not much of activity, but we can see also Brenda Wanga trying to, get a point where she can actually give us that particular information. She's on the ground. And we want to know what is the information right now. This is coming live to you from Njambini. Brenda Wanga, she's standing by. Victims of the flight that went down. We are not given the full information, as I've mentioned. We're still away to know what really happened so far. Adverse effect of weather also could have brought this particular aircraft down. So we cross over to Brenda Wanga. She's on the ground. Brenda Wanga, what do you know so far?
Well, Dembale, is another early cold morning here in Njambini, but as you can see, there's a crowd of local residents who are just grabbing something to eat in preparation for that excursion into the mountains, where the wreckage of that plane that has been missing for the last 2 days was located last night. We have been told that this plane was located in an area called Elephant Hills in the southern sides of the Aberdares. They are now making preparations to try and make that excursion excursion to the site and try and retrieve the plane and perhaps the bodies of the people who are on that plane. We are waiting for the official statement from the team on the ground just to tell us exactly how they were able to make this discovery. Late last night, we had been told that the search had been called off, but it would appear that once dusk fell, they perhaps went back into the forest to try and carry out that search, and it has been successful. We've seen members of the families of some of the people who are aboard that plane already making their way here as early as 6 a.m. in the morning. They are making arrangements, of course, to try and go up the hills. We are being told that the distance from where we are to Elephant Hill is about roughly 40 kilometers. They will be making concerted efforts. It's a multi-agency team, officers from the Kenya Wildlife Service, Kenya Forestry Service, the police, and of course, as we can see clearly here, they have also roped in the services of the locals who tell us that they know the area, they know the terrain very well, and they will be giving that invaluable lead as they lead the team into the forest, into the mountains, to try and just see if they can make that journey to and from. They're telling us the terrain is very rough. The vehicles can go as only far. They will not go all the way to the mountain. So the rest of the journey will have to be made by foot. But they tell us that they are much alive to the fact and ready to go and tackle that challenge. We also already have teams from the Red Cross also making their way here just for that psychological support, and also in the event that they do find some survivors, perhaps just to offer medical support as well. So Debala, I can tell you that it is going to be a very busy morning here, and a morning that is just about to get underway. Debala?
So, Brenda Wanga, before I let you go just briefly, so the information that actually you're receiving, does it give you an indication of how the state of the aircraft is, all right? Do we have it fully intact, or maybe we have the wings, the fuselage, and you know, maybe even the landing gears apart? How is the wreckage so far? If you have any information, maybe it can give us an indication of the extent of the damage.
Well, they haven't told us exactly what state the aeroplane is. What they've just told us is that they have been able to spot it, and they will be giving us a full briefing in a few minutes. The head of this organization, Mr. Pius Mwashi, tells us he's holding a meeting with the families of the people who are on board that plane. Once that meeting is over, they will come out and tell us and give us more details, perhaps on the state of that aircraft and exactly whether they expect to find survivors or not. So this information, Debal, as soon as we get it, we'll be sharing it with you and with the rest of our viewers. We will be, of course, carrying that press conference live in just a few minutes. As soon as that meeting is over, Mwashi tells us he will be talking to us and giving us further details of exactly what state the plane was in when it was discovered. Debal?
Thank you very much, Brenda Wanga. Brenda Wanga reporting there from Jambini. Of course, that she tells us is about 40 kilometers away from where that particular plane has been discovered this morning. And we can see from the pictures there also locals, they're coming to the fore to try and offer a hand of help so far to go maybe into the nook and crannies of Aberdares forest to try and salvage that particular wreckage. And we know this is a multi-agency operation. We have the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority on ground, of course. Also, we do have the Kenya Red Cross, so we have also the National Disaster Management Authority as well on the ground. And as she is mentioned, also will be getting more details from them to give us a state of information of what is happening currently and the state also of the wreckage as well.